All right, so before I get into the review today, I just want to give a shout out to B.W. Lundberg from the Nostalgia Cast. When I posted my review for Godzilla vs. Gigan on Saturday, he dropped like a response to the tweet that I sent out saying, "I'm struggling to remember why Godzilla and Anguirus talk in speech bubbles." And I immediately just snapped out of it. I was like, "Oh, I completely forgot to bring that up in my review." It was 11:30 at night when I filmed that. I was so tired. You could tell I was tired because I didn't even have my contacts and I had my glasses on. So I was beat when I was filming that. So I want to shout out DW for pointing that out. I'm sorry I didn't bring that up in the review. Again, I just plumb forgot about it. I'm surprised even to myself that I would forget Godzilla and Anguirus talking to each other, and we as the audience members being able to understand them via speech bubbles. I'm surprised. I have no excuse other than I just plumb forgot, so I want to say I'm sorry to all of you.
My bad.
And I want to thank DW for pointing that out. So thank you, and I'm sorry that I missed that. But anyway, Godzilla versus Megalon. Godzilla vs. Megalon. This is the movie that you all probably know pretty much as the debut of
Jet Jaguar, Jet Jaguar, Yata Jaguar.
Oh, and also one little matter about the dropkick. Yeah, the dropkick that you've probably seen in meme form or GIF form. This is the movie that it's from, and it's literally the only thing that people remember from Godzilla vs. Megalon, for good reason. Is this the dirt worst? No, but it's a definite step down from Godzilla vs. Gigan, and it really just feels like they were trying to make Jet Jaguar a thing, when in reality, this is like his only appearance in the Godzilla canon, and he was never seen again to the best of my knowledge. In my research, I was shocked to find that this was not meant to be a Jet Jaguar solo movie, even though it really does feel that way, and Godzilla doesn't really do anything of substance in this movie until an hour in. Just for context, this movie is an hour and 21 minutes. So you have to wait an entire human hour to see Godzilla do literally anything. He's in some footage, but you gotta wade through a lot of stuff first in order to get there. Jet Jaguar was the result of a contest that Toho released and was won by an elementary school student. So yes, folks, Jet Jaguar was created by a literal child. I'm not going to lie, the design is actually kind of neat, but it just, with the knowledge of knowing that one of the big good guys in one of the biggest, like, blockbuster series in Japan was created by a child, that must have just said a lot about where Godzilla was at the time. Godzilla going from metaphor for the scars left behind by the nuke on Hiroshima and Nagasaki to teaming up with what I assume somebody thought the Voltron Force looked when they were all together, facing off against a gigantic bird with hook hands and a saw in his belly, and not Gabara, a Megalon who looks straight up like Gabara. Basically a big ol' like mole-looking thing with an antenna on top that shoots out lightning and also can spit bombs out of his mouth. This is the state of things, folks. You know, halfway through watching this movie, I was saying to myself, you know, when people say that Godzilla Minus One is the greatest Godzilla film ever made, I was sitting there thinking to myself, y'all need to watch more Godzilla movies. Now that I have seen more Godzilla movies, Godzilla Minus One is like almost like the Citizen Kane of Godzilla movies. Like, it's not even fair. I feel like I'm crapping on the movie more than I'm trying to. I assure you, I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything. I really do think that there are some parts of the movie that I did like. The fight scenes were fun. Megalon having the ability to spit out bombs, like fire bombs, I thought was cool. Godzilla gets to use his atomic breath like quite a bit, and that's fun. And then you basically get to see him and Jet Jaguar do like double team Bushiman style like tag team moves on 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 Gigan and Megalon. And it's the best part of the movie. They're humans, they're doing things, but it doesn't matter. They show the drop kick. It's great. It's so nice they show it twice. Literally, they show the footage twice. I don't know if that was done on purpose or if it was an accident, but considering the fact that Toho released this, I would imagine that this was done on purpose. I feel like with I feel like after All Monsters Attack, Toho hit the bottom, and then with the next two movies, they were slowly trying to make their way out, and then Godzilla versus Megalon just sent them to the bottom again. I'm not going to give this a horrid because there's actually some fun stuff here. However, minus the dropkick and Jet Jaguar, this movie is pretty forgettable. However, Toho would definitively hit the bottom and then push themselves up out of the pit like Bruce Wayne in the middle of The Dark Knight Rises, because the next movie in the Showa series and the second to last in the Showa series is a little movie called Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla.